I would also like to welcome you. Is that better? Louder? Maybe I'll just step really close. Yeah, so I'd like to welcome you. You know, we hold this every summer, and it's a lot of fun getting people together. I was asked to speak for a few minutes about the importance of wellness in MS, and the concept of wellness, people mean different things by that, but there's actually official definitions of it, and it involves physical, emotional, and social wellness. That people are participating at their maximum levels in all three of those areas. So our clinic has tried to emphasize this, and maybe I'll just go through each one of them. So physical wellness, obviously you need to take care of your medical problems, see your doctor, take your medicines, things like that. But the other aspect of physical wellness is being physically active. And exercise and things like that are very important in maintaining people. That's why we offer things like physical therapy, and we do training to try to teach people what kind of exercise to do so that they can carry that out not only here but in their homes. The emotional wellness, of course, if you're depressed or you know, having conflicts in your relationships and stuff, that just drags your whole system down, and it's really important to address those so they don't just fester. One aspect of doing that is things like psychology or psychiatry, but others aspects are just being around other people that are going through the same experiences. So things like support groups and things are important in that regard. The third branch of that is social well-being, and this involves many different aspects of people's lives, things like their employment, their relations within their families, things like that. But I think we have especially gone after that aspect of wellness because there's a lot of things that people can do that kind of put the pieces back together for what they used to be. So, you know, if you have a person that spent a good part of their life being an outdoors enthusiast and now you can't do that anymore, what do you do to put those pieces back together? So, we have a lot of programs to try to help people with that. You know, we have Pilates and yoga, we have craft groups, movie groups, things like that, that people can get back some of what they used to do. We're now almost in January, it'll be 2 years since we launched our adventure program, and probably several of you have participated in that, but we're the only ones that I know of in really the world that an MS center has an adventure program. And Simon, our occupational therapist, half of his job is to organize these adventures, which are basically field trips. So he's done things like take people out to the Paramount Theater, baseball games, and a lot of crazy outdoor things. He took people parasailing, he's taking people sailing and overnight camping on Blake Island. I think that was just a couple of weeks ago. You know, introduction to scuba diving, archery, rock climbing, lots of things that probably most normal people don't do to start with. So. Anyway, this is very important for people because it allows them to reconnect back with what used to define them as a person. I have a talk I give to doctors, and I have 3 slides in it, like how do we as doctors think about our patients, and it's like what disease do they have, what's their MRI look like, are they taking their medicines, things like that. But then I go to the next slide and I say, you know, I don't think that's how people define themselves. If I ask an MS patient, like, how do you define yourself? You probably wouldn't say, well, I'm the one with, you know, relapsing remitting MS whose MRI was stable. And No, you would be, you know, the former musician or the former artist or, you know, something like that. So we would like to get people back into these activities. Why do we do that? Well, one, it's emotionally and socially very healthy for people to remain connected to a community like that. But the other part that's important is the concept of plasticity in the nervous system. And we used to think that the nervous system, you know, once you hit maybe your late teens, that whatever nervous system you had, that's what, that was it. You peaked out, and any damage that was done, you were never going to get that back because the nervous system would not regenerate itself. But we now know that's not really the case, and the nervous system can actually repair, and areas that don't fully repair can get their neighboring nerve pathways to take some of the load. So if you exercise a nerve circuit, it can repair, or it can get other circuits to help it out. Like if you're trying to get signals from your brain down to your hands, the more repetition you do of that, the more, the better you will get. It's very slow with the nervous system. Doesn't repair as fast as skin does, which takes just a few days to regenerate, but it does happen, and that's called neuroplasticity. The brain is not stable, it's plastic and changeable over time. So we try to get people back involved in all aspects, all three of those aspects of wellness, so that we can take advantage of neuroplasticity and try to you know, get some healing done. So with that, I think I'll turn it over to Phil, unless anybody's got burning questions. Probably not, but I'll turn it over to Phil, who also is the only program that I've ever heard of that has this. We have our own band and a Get Your Music Back program where people that are musicians can try to get their music back in a setting that's got other people going through the same thing. And you can judge for yourself. I've heard them play, and I think they're doing a good job with their neuroplasticity. So I'll turn it over.
Thank you. Thank you.
In 2002, 16 years ago, when I was diagnosed with MS, I could no longer play any of my musical instruments. My right hand and arm was too weak. But I wasn't going to give it up, so I kept trying and almost reteaching myself how to play. And inside of a year, it came back. Now, jump ahead to 2015, I talked to the good people here, the awesome people here, in fact, and Dr. Bowen and company believed in what I was planning on doing, and I said I want to volunteer a day out of the week to basically show people this neuroplasticity is real and it works. And then to set up a jam session format, which is what Get Back Your Music is. And with that in mind, I wanted to start a band that would be able to raise awareness and primarily hope to anyone who was diagnosed with MS or Parkinson's or cerebral palsy, who lost an ability, who lost a passion.
Stroke.
And stroke, yeah. To help them get back what they lost. Because if I could get back what I lost, then they can get back what they lost.
Yes.
So we get together every week and on Thursdays, and we just jam. It's a jam session format. And we work on getting our abilities back. And within our group here, we represent MS, Parkinson's, cerebral palsy, and stroke. And probably some more things later in the future, hopefully. So we're gonna slowly, because we have MS and stuff, get together and play some music for you guys, background music, and give you an idea what one of our weekly sessions look like.
Hey Phil, you want to introduce the band?
And I'm gonna introduce the band to you now. So on guitar and keyboards, and lately he's been playing. He's a good bass player actually, but Chris Huget here. Next to him is one of our two drummers, Marco Falzone, and Marco has cerebral palsy. Dana Ventura has what I have, which is relapsing remitting MS, and she sings and plays guitar. Patty Patton's no pro here. She played with the great and near great, professional drummer, and she also plays some bass and guitar. So Patty Patton, you all know her. And our latest addition here is Eric Allison. Eric had a major stroke back in 2008, and at the time couldn't walk or anything, but now he's walking. He's made incredible strides, and so he's going to be playing some harmonica for you. All right, and at that point we'll get set up and ready to go here.